Hi, I'm Michael Tremboli, and welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you from Ohio, where I'm visiting my wife's family for the holidays, and it was such a gorgeous day that I figured I'd shoot this part out here. It's just a lovely little house that my wife's family has, and so in today's video, I want to recap what 2023 meant to me as far as my photography is concerned. It was kind of a difficult year for me personally, but I think as far as my photography goes, it was really one of my best years yet. I feel like I learned so much through my camera club and through other photographers whose videos I see on YouTube. It really feels like I've leveled up my photography this year, and certainly through these YouTube videos that I've been presenting these last few months, I feel like have been a great way for me to go through my work and just see what are my strongest images. And, I'm also very grateful to all the people who have responded positively to these videos so far. And so I just want to thank you. I'm sure you know who you are. You can hear the wind chime clanging right now, I'm sure. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone who's viewed these videos this year. It's really meant a lot to me. So one of my favorite things about December is all the year-end countdowns that come out, especially with music. One of my favorite things to do each year is to rank my top 100 songs of each year. And that's something I'm looking forward to. And if you want to see that list, you can visit the website that I'll post below. I'll link to it in the description as well. But in that spirit, I decided I wanted to rank my top 10 photographs that I took in 2023. Now, this was a very difficult task, especially when it comes to one's own work, I think. But I did my best, and I hope you'll see these photographs and think that the rankings have some merit. If you disagree, or if you have a different one you may have seen of mine during the year, please leave a comment below. And yeah, with that in mind, let's get to it. So at number 10 is this photograph that I took on the subway back in May. And as you can see, it's a man who is sleeping on the train, and behind him is a sign that says "The dream is different here." And it was just one of those moments that I think as a photographer, you just feel so incredibly lucky to kind of encounter, where there's some text behind a person or next to a person, or there's a sign that kind of converses with what the person is doing in that moment. And yeah, it was just such a lucky moment for me to be able to capture this. At number 9 is this photograph that I took in Tribeca just a couple weeks ago. In fact, it was featured in my most recent video on my last film rolls of 2023. It was definitely one of my favorite film photographs that I took during the year. And again, it was just a moment that I just got very lucky seeing this man with his dog perched on his shoulders, like just seeing the reactions of the people in the lower left corner. It's so emblematic of why I love New York. It's just it can be such a weird place at times. And yeah, I think this photograph is just so special to me, I think, for this year. And at number 8 is this photograph that I took at the Metropolitan Museum of Art back in February. This was at a Richard Avedon exhibit that they were having. And I saw this guy looking, trying to take a photo of one of the photos with his phone, and just the way, I just like the way that people kind of interact with artwork when they're in museums. I feel like it's very This one just really kind of stood out to me as far as the museum photographs that I took during the year. Yeah, such a good moment to just kind of witness and capture. At number 7 is this photograph that I took in Spain back in August. That was actually the first time in my life I'd actually left North America. And I just thought that Madrid was such a special place to photograph. And, I went there, of course, to celebrate my anniversary with my wife. But, of course, one of the things I wanted to do was to just see what the streets of Madrid had to offer as far as photography opportunities were concerned. And at number 6 is this photograph that I took in the subway at the West 4th Street station in Manhattan. I just loved the way I managed to kind of get the gate of this staircase in focus, and the man walking down the staircase is out of focus. There's the anonymity of this photograph is just very, very intriguing to me. I feel like this might be something I want to explore a little more going forward in some way. I'm not entirely sure how, but that's the beauty of photography, is you don't really know where the roads will take you, but you know which roads you want to kind of travel down. At number 5 is another museum photograph. I took this one at the High Museum in Atlanta. And they have this really wonderful atrium that is with a skylight that is just, when it's the right time of day, it can just be absolutely beautiful. And I caught this man just it looked like he was doing yoga or something. I wasn't sure what he was doing, but he was posing in a certain way. And I loved just how the lines of the rotunda, if you will, just kind of frame him. And the way the sunlight and the shadows work, it's just one of those moments that you'd love to be there when you have your camera with you. And at number 4 is this photograph that I took on a camera walk, or a photo walk held by my camera club in early September. One of the members had brought some steel wool and a rope. And what he did was he lit the steel wool on fire and just kind of swung it around his head. And what I managed to do is I took my little baby tripod and attached it to my camera, and I managed to get this long exposure. And it just, the way, just everything about this photograph came out perfectly. The way the light trails kind of emanate from where he's standing, and just the halo of light around him. It was just such a great photograph to do. And, I'd never done anything like this before. At number 3 is this photograph that I took at LaGuardia Airport in July. And I found that during the year, I've been kind of drawn to airports as subjects for photographs. They're these liminal spaces. They're not meant for people to occupy, but sometimes you can spend hours there. And they only exist for people to go from one point to another. They don't exist for people to actually be there for any period of time. In this case, I was standing on an elevator and I saw this one person with their bags going up another elevator, and I just managed to get this photograph on my phone at the absolute right moment. The way the window, the light from the window is kind of coming in, and the way she's just framed within the walls is, again, it was just, the idea was I thought was sound, but I think the execution really kind of took it to another level. At number 2 is this photograph that I took on the roof of a building in Brooklyn, overlooking the Brooklyn Bridge in Lower Manhattan. Again, it's a long exposure photograph that just managed to come out very perfectly. It was, getting to be dusk, and the moment just felt right to kind of take a long exposure of the traffic going across the bridge. And yeah, everything about this photograph I love. It's one of my favorite photographs. The only thing that bothers me is it doesn't feel like it fits within a kind of project or like a broader theme in my work, but sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you just got to take a photograph because it's a great photograph. And finally, we've reached number 1. So this was my favorite photograph that I took in 2023. I took it way back in January. This was at my old office building in Rockefeller Center. And I was just in the break room one day, and I looked out the window and I saw this man just kind of framed in the window across the plaza. And the way it was framed with the American flag just next to him, it's a very Edward Hopper-esque image in my mind. The way he's just like isolated in the frame. You know, and again, this is another photograph that I took on my phone, you know, and because I believe that your best camera is the camera you have on you at any given time. And I was just lucky that I had my phone with me. And so there you have it. Those were my favorite photographs of 2023. And I want to thank you for watching this channel, and I hope you'll like this video and subscribe to the channel if you... Again, I want to thank everyone who's been watching these videos in 2023. I hope you and your family have a happy holiday, and I look forward to seeing you again in 2024. Thanks. Bye for now.